Hey guys, I'm Sebastian, and this is the Sebastian Nation. Well, the Taken King is finally out. After about 2.5 months of hype since that original E3 trailer of Taken King came out, the game is finally out, and it's been about for a week now for anybody who's watching this video at a later date. So everybody in the community has gotten their chance wet and their feet dirty in the new Dreadnought and just the Taken King in general. And this is my official Destiny the Taken King review. So right now in the game there's about 3 kinds of players. The third isn't as important, well, probably the most important to overall Destiny, but the first 2 are really critical to Destiny the Taken King right now, and to probably this review. So the first kind of player right now in the game are the people that are entering Destiny for the first time ever. The people that are lucky enough to have waited a whole year and didn't have to go through all the highs and lows of Destiny and just jump in right into the Taken King. Hopefully they start from the beginning and really just get immersed into this new and expansive universe of what is Destiny. And the second type of player is people that are finally coming back after a whole year. Because, you know, as we all know, a lot of people left Destiny about 2 weeks to a month in because this game was not what it was supposed to be, and we all know it. And we all know Bungie was world-renowned, famous for their amazing storytelling in Halo. So when the world found out they were creating a new universe, so we all just thought a great new story was coming for us. Did that happen? No, and I'm not really going to discuss that because that's just beating a dead horse. Let's just get over it and jump into this year 2 of Destiny the Taken King. So I'm assuming you guys want to know if Destiny the Taken King is worth it for you and just for anyone who's thinking about it. And I'm going to tell you right now that yes, I do think it is worth it. Primarily for the people who are gonna jump into Destiny, they just get so much content. Like, wow, so much content. That's what the game should have been shipped with. But again, I said I'm not gonna go ahead and discuss year 1 because that's just beating a dead horse, and we're all tired of hearing about it already. But hopefully after my review, you guys can go ahead and make your own decision into deciding if Taken King is or is not for you. So without ado, let's go ahead and get started with it. First, with the story. The story in Taken King is definitely the best story by far that's ever entered Destiny. That's including the atrocious vanilla Destiny, the a tad better Dark Below, and my personal favorite, the House of Wolves. Now saying that might not attract people to the game right away, because since the original game was so far behind, for them to have like a good story now is just like putting them up to speed to everyone else and to what they originally should have had. At this point of the game, the story, it is exceeding, so they are on the right trajectory, but they just started so far back, they're kind of right now at the original spot as a regular game would be at year 1. But with that said, the story of Taken King is quite fun. First, it's a cohesive storyline with characters that you get to learn about and actually build a relationship with. You learn so much about Eris Morn, and you actually get to feel for the Vanguard and Cade 6, who honestly probably saved the entire campaign. I mean, Nathan Fillion voices Cade 6, who is the Hunter Vanguard, and he really just holds the whole story on his back. I mean, I really liked his character of Cade 6. He was just so much fun to listen to and hear his little banter with Eris. And you actually get to have a best friend in your ghost. I actually felt like me and my ghost are actually partners now. Like, the ghost is just so useful in the Taken King that I'm shocked that we had to wait a whole year to have such minor role for the Ghost. I mean, it's not anything like, wow, I can't believe the Ghost is doing all of this. It's just, wow, I'm so happy the Ghost can finally do all of this. Also, Bungie got rid of that original structure that they came up with in the original Destiny of, you walk into a room, you put your Ghost into a door or some sort of panel, and he either opens the door for you or hacks the security code while you fight 3 waves of enemies, and the door just magically opens right after you kill the last guy. That does not happen, thankfully, in The Taken King. They really go ahead and try and switch it up. I'm surprised to say a wide variety of missions. Granted, at the end of the day, they are all just shoot 'em ups, but they really go out of their way to try and change them up for us. For the first time ever, there's a stealth mission in Destiny, The Taken King, and it's quite fun. It's fun for the first couple of times, but we'll see how fun it is after 2 months down the line. There's also another mission where it follows the same basic routine of all the other Destiny story missions that doesn't include the whole putting your Ghost in a door and it hacking it for you. But you know, it just follows the same routine of a regular Destiny story mission. And you think you're finished and you're about to go to orbit, but then you're not. You're not finished. A giant horde comes for you and you gotta run and try to make it out alive, and then they throw in a new mechanic for you that is important for you to learn to use in the dreadnought and ultimately the raid. Strikes now are finally cooperative. Now, I play on the Xbox, so I haven't played the one PlayStation exclusive Strike, but I have seen the gameplay on it, and so it does relate to what I'm about to say. And I was saying that strikes now are cooperative. You have to work together now in strikes. It's really hard to solo any strike. At least it is right now in the game. I'm sure in about like 3 months people are going to be able to solo pretty much everything. But that's a different topic. But yeah, back to the cooperativeness of strikes. Such as there's a strike on Earth where you're in Rasputin's war mine, and there's 2 lanes of flowing electricity that's flowing through the lanes back and forth. And to stop the electricity from flowing and ultimately killing you, Guardian has to grab a relic from one part of the map and bring it to the other side of the map. When that Guardian's holding the relic, he's disabled to use any guns because he's holding the relic. And so it is the job of the other 2 Guardians in protecting him and reaching that other side of the map so he can place the relic in the correct port from the electricity from flowing. But once the relic is out of the first port, the electricity A flows faster, B there's exploding shanks, and if you don't know what a shank is, it's a very small robot that flies, and in the name it explodes, so when it gets near you or by contact, they automatically explode. And I had to 2-man this part, and it was incredibly frustrating. Not frustrating as in, oh my god, I hate this game, but oh my god, I just have to beat this. It's so crazy hard / fun that I just have to beat it. You know, we have all had that feeling where something was just so hard where we have to beat it. There's also another strike called the Sunless Cell. And all I'm gonna say about that strike is that the boss is in a dark room. And when I mean a dark room, it's a pitch black dark room. It's so dark that you can't even see the gun that's in your own hand. The only source of light is from gunfire from you and the other guardians in your fire team, and if you have a sword. But not everybody has a sword, but it's just so dark, and you're fighting a giant knight with an axe, and he's just wrecking you, and it's incredibly fun and original. And when you finish the story and your guardian is at level 40, which you can get to just by finishing the story, you unlock so many quests in the game. I've been playing for about a week now, and I'm overwhelmed with all the quests and side stories that are in the game right now, and I just love them. especially the questline called Taken War. I think I actually like the quest just a tad more than the actual storyline. The only reason why the storyline is a bit better is because there's cutscenes. Granted, the quests are endgame, so of course endgame is always a little bit better. The story is great, I'm not detracting from the story whatsoever, but me personally, I really like the new quest that they put in the game. Every single character in the game can give you a quest line, from the Vanguard, to Eris Morn, to the Crucible people, to the lady who sells you ships. There's so many quests in the game, and quests are not bounties. Bounties are certain tasks that you complete to get XP, but quests are small independent storylines that further tell the lore and history of the universe and Destiny. And I can't do a review on the Taken King without mentioning the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought was one of the main selling points of the Taken King. And in layman terms, the Dreadnought is basically a giant, massive maze of a hive ship in space that is just filled with all types of crazy enemies and consoles which need special access keys and treasure chests that also need keys, and you have no idea how to obtain them, and it's just crazy fun. Like, you really have to think of how you're gonna get these keys and access codes and what to do to get them. Like the other day, I was running around the Dreadnought trying to collect Helium Flakes for my sword quest, and there was a ritual going on that the Hive were doing, and me being the curious guardian that I am, I'm like, I'm gonna go mess with those Hive, and that's exactly what I did. I killed all the Hive, and once I did, some weird relic came out of the ritual. I'm like, okay, so I went ahead and I grabbed the relic, and there was a timer on the relic, so I had to use the relic within 1 minute and 45 seconds or 1 minute and 30 seconds. I don't really remember how long it was entirely, but I grabbed the relic and I'm running around the Dreadnought with it, and I'm like, okay, what do I do with this? I had no idea what to do with it. And then the relic eventually disappeared out of my hands. The next day, I'm going ahead and looking for more Helium Flakes to complete my sword quest. And I find this special room, and there's a chest in the room, but it doesn't require a key, it's just the room is blocking you from opening this chest, right? And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just not strong enough to reach the chest. And so I go ahead and go on my merry way, but then I see across the hall, not across the hall, like a few rooms down, that another guardian was interrupting a ritual, and they grabbed the relic from the Hive ritual. So I went ahead and immediately followed this guardian who had the relic in his hand in hopes that maybe he knew what to do with it, because I had no idea what to do with it. But after following him for about 20 seconds, I saw that he didn't know what to do with it either. And since there's no actual communication amongst people you don't know in Destiny, I had to come up with a new way of like getting his attention. So I went ahead and started shooting at him and waving at him until he finally recognized me and he started following me. And I'm like, what if I take him to this room? So I went ahead and take him to the room, and on our way there, a random hunter joined us, and it was just a crazy little side mission that the three of us went on. And when we got to the room, it actually worked. I was able to reach this chest, and I was like, whoa, I actually figured it out on my own. And it's just small things like that where you get a real sense of accomplishment of figuring out a puzzle that where no instructions were given to you. And it's one of the reasons like that why I really love the Dreadnought. Another great feature I didn't mention when it comes to the Taken King are the new supers. Every class got the missing element that they were missing, such as the Warlocks got the Arc element, Titans got the Solar element, and Hunters got the Void element. Now, the new supers, I'm not going to go into too much detail. Aside from that, they are just ultimate power, and they are so much fun to use, and they really are just great additions to the game, and you know, just bring a little bit more diversity to the game, which is always a good thing when it comes to video games and customization. And the other day, me and a couple of friends were doing the last step in the Chaperone quest line, and the last step is you have to fight the Shield Brother Strike on hard. And it was pretty funny because we were all reverted to go back into using our original supers of using Blade Dancer, Radiant, and Ward of Dawn. And it's not to say that the new supers aren't super useful in PvE, it's just that we hadn't upgraded them all the way, and you can't really beat somebody who can self-resurrect, and that's why Warlocks are the master race. But that's a whole different video on a whole different topic. And the last great thing about Destiny, the Taken King, is Crucible. Crucible now is just so fantastic. Actually, it's always been fantastic. Bungie, they are really good at making PvP. Example number 1, Halo. That's pretty much all you need. A lot of people only play Destiny for PvP, and it's fantastic. And the Taken King introduced us to 2 new game modes. Well, 3, but one of them hasn't entered the game officially yet. 2 of them being Rift and Mayhem. And Rift is basically where there's a spark or a flag of some sort in the middle of the field, and everybody on both teams are both trying to reach it. And if Team A, Alpha, or Team B, Bravo, if someone from Team A gets the spark, they're supposed to get to Team B and ignite the rift. And by igniting the rift, all you have to do is literally step into it. And there aren't any drawbacks for being the runner of holding the spark. So, like, you still get to use all your grenades and guns and melees. Granted, you can't use your supers, but I think that's because not every single hunter gets in there, grabs the rift, goes into Blade Dancer, and just wrecks everybody and wins. So I'm happy there's no supers when you're the runner. Also, someone can't just hold the spark forever and in hopes to reach the other side. Once you're the runner, you only have 2 minutes into reaching the spark. And if you don't reach those 2 minutes, you either A, die, or B, you just lose the spark. I actually don't know what happens if that 2-minute timer runs up, because I've always either been killed before it runs up, or I make it to the spark, so your guess is as good as mine. And the other mode that they introduced is Mayhem. And Mayhem is literally the word mayhem. It's where your grenades, supers, and melees, and heavy ammo, and special ammo are on constant recharge. You can get your super in just 45 seconds without even getting any kills. If you get kills within those 45 seconds you don't have your super, that 45 seconds can get down to about 30 seconds, or maybe even 20 seconds. And it's just non-stop craziness. And I had a blast doing it. If you don't like doing PvP, if something like Control or Rift or Rumble is just way too competitive for you, Mayhem is the game to let loose, and it's fun dying and it's fun getting kills. Now, for about the past 16 minutes, I've been talking about how great the Taken King is. So I kinda made it seem like it's a perfect game. And is it? No, it's not. The game is not perfect in any regards. It's no GTA 5, and it's no Arkham City. For starters, the grind is still there. If you don't like grinding, Destiny ultimately is just not a game for you. Destiny is made for you to grind. You are purposely put in this world over and over again to try and find materials, and hopefully you get lucky and get the armor you want. Granted, the RNG has been a lot better. Now you are guaranteed to get an armor from harder missions. Is it gonna be the armor you want in particular? Probably not. It could be a lower piece of legendary armor, but you will get armor every time now. And the weapon balancing and armor balancing in the game is really off right now. It's actually quite annoying, where you can get a really nice legendary armor, but in 15 minutes you'll get a blue armor that's 15 times stronger than your legendary. And legendaries, for people who don't know, are supposed to be the best things next to exotics, and then blues are the stuff when you're first leveling up. So it's really off, where there's a lot of blue armor that's stronger than purple. And granted, you are able to do this new system where you can infuse, where you can take your higher blues and other purples and take that one piece of purple armor and just make it better. You can upgrade it to make it better at the cost of sacrificing old armor. But it doesn't work when you have a really nice 200 attack damage auto rifle, but then you get a blue 275 hand cannon. It's just really off and quite annoying. Also, I just talked how great Mayhem is and how fun it was, but it's not in the game. It's not a permanent game mode. It's a rotating game mode, which is just absurd that they would put that like that. They advertise it to be a permanent game mode, and when I first got my Stormcaller, I was like, I can't wait to use this in Mayhem. I go ahead to Mayhem, and Mayhem is not there. The weekend just passed, Mayhem was not there. The first weekend of Taken King, they did not add Mayhem. Bungie really dropped the ball when it came to Mayhem. I had also mentioned that the dreadnought is so fun to explore and run around in, but because of it, the Cosmodrome, Venus, Moon, and Mars kinda lack in comparison. And it's not their fault. It's Bungie's fault entirely. They didn't really go out of their way to add an extra flavor to go back there. Unless you're going around to do quests, and there are new quests in the Cosmodrome and Venus and etc. But you're just there to do the quest. You're really spending most of your time in the dreadnought, which sucks because I like to run around in the Cosmodrome and Venus, etc. They're fun locations. I love Mars. Mars is so cool. I think it's fantastic. But they added the little Taken bosses there, which are really fun, but they're really hard to kill, and Guardians are usually around, but in comparison to Taken King, they have nothing on the Dreadnought. They really don't. And in a game where we are supposed to become legend, there's not a lot of customization that's available to us. Like, the only customization we really have are being able to wear shaders and pick the cloak or warlock bond or titan mark that we chose. Actually, we can't even wear the cloak or bond of our choice anymore, but we're forced to wear the one of the highest defense, whether it's really ugly or really nice. So it'd be nice if they were to add something to change up your hairstyles, or to change the war paint or tattoos that are on your Guardian. But is that in the game? No. But with everything said and done, Destiny, the Taken King, is still a lot of fun to play with. It is a solid 8.4 out of 10. And all we can do is hope that the next two DLCs are this rewarding for players. I want to go ahead and say thank you if you stayed until the end and listening into my very in-depth review of Destiny, the Taken King. So, if you want to continue the conversation of the Taken King, go ahead and leave a comment down below. And if you guys like the video, go ahead and like the video. And if you want to join the Sebastian Nation, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Alright guys, enjoy the rest of the gameplay and have a good one.